One in a trillion moments in F1. From the hilarious to the dramatic, these incidents have helped to make F1 one of the most exciting and unpredictable sports in the world. But have you ever imagined an F1 car crashing into a roulette table, or a driver celebrating victory with a silly juice fight? These are just a few of the most unbelievable moments in F1 history, but in this video, we'll show you some of the best F1 moments that have only happened once in a trillion times. In the wild world of F1, you'd think you'd have seen it all until someone decides to take a leisurely stroll across the racetrack in the middle of the action. It's like showing up to a ballet and deciding to tango with the dancers. And that's precisely what this brave soul did, or rather, what many would label as a curious mix of bravery and utter foolishness. Imagine the car zipping by at speeds that make cheetahs jealous, but then, out of the blue, a random human decides it's the perfect time for a leisurely Sunday afternoon stroll. It's like bringing a spoon to a knife fight, simply not the brightest idea. In a sport where milliseconds separate triumph from disaster, having an impromptu pedestrian interrupt the high-speed drama is as outlandish as a penguin teaching salsa. So let's give it up for F1's latest unexpected star, the track-crossing daredevil. Oh, poor NQ. Talk about a tough break, quite literally. Getting hit by a safety car is like getting served a speeding ticket while riding a bicycle. And that edge problem causing a fire extinguisher squirt, that's like trying to fix a leaky faucet and accidentally flooding the kitchen. NQ seems to attract trouble like a magnet in a junkyard. With that kind of luck, he could probably trip over a cloud. But hey, at least he's becoming the legend of unexpected moments on the track. The Alfa Romeo driver, innocently cruising through a practice session, got blindsided by a colossal crash, turning the track into a battlefield of metal and rubber. Enter Marcus Ericsson, the protagonist in this whirlwind, who suddenly found himself embroiled in an epic collision. The culprit, a sneaky DRS issue, decided to play its hand, turning the peaceful drive into a tango with disaster. Imagine, it's like prepping a cozy dinner and suddenly your microwave decides it's a fireworks show. This jaw-dropping moment in the Italian Grand Prix will probably go down in F1 history as the OMG, did that just happen scene, one that no crystal ball could have foreseen. In the high-octane world of F1, legends are made and etched into the annals of racing history. One such tale of brilliance and unforeseen genius starred the legendary Michael Schumacher at the British Grand Prix. As the race neared its climax, Schumacher, Ferrari's iconic driver, led the charge. Yet with just 3 laps to go, a plot twist that could script a Hollywood thriller emerged. A penalty notice loomed over Schumacher like a storm cloud over a sunny day. The reason? Schumacher's maneuver behind the safety car caught the eye of the racing authorities. The penalty threatened to snatch his well-deserved victory, hanging over his head. But as the world held its breath, Schumacher unleashed a stroke of genius that even had the racing gods nodding in awe. With no way to avoid the penalty, Schumacher pulled off a move straight out of the racing mythology books. As the race clock struck lap 60, he cruised into the pit lane to serve his penalty. And yet, here's where genius met reality. By sheer timing and strategic calculation, Schumacher crossed the finish line while entering the pits. The Ferrari pit box lay just beyond the checkered flag, setting the stage for an unconventional yet entirely legitimate victory. The crowd might have gasped in disbelief while the paddock scrambled to comprehend the audacity of Schumacher's move. The man had managed to turn an impending defeat into a triumph by technically claiming victory right under the officials' noses. It was a move so brilliant, it left the rulebook scratching its head, and Schumacher ascending into the stratosphere of racing folklore. But amidst the reverberating shockwaves of Schumacher's strategic brilliance, fate decided to serve its own plot twist. Just when victory should have been sweetest, an unforgettable crash shocked not only the spectators, but also the indomitable Schumacher himself. The juxtaposition of victory and terror on that legendary day at the British Grand Prix left an indelible mark on F1 history. In the midst of it all, Hart delivered a line that had jaws dropping faster than F1 cars on the straight. I mean, I would have effed the whole paddock. You know, I'm sure America doesn't mind, but I'll apologize for the language. Then came the million-dollar question. What language did I use? Did you drop an F-bomb? No. What did you say you would do to the whole paddock? And a plot twist that wouldn't be out of place in a Las Vegas blockbuster, an F1 car somehow found itself rubbing tires with roulette tables and playing chicken with slot machines in a casino. Imagine the roulette ball spinning alongside the whirl of F1 tires. Now that's a spin nobody anticipated. The sight of a high-speed machine navigating through a maze of slot machines and card tables probably made even the most seasoned gamblers drop their poker faces. It's the kind of thrill that blends the adrenaline of the track with the glitz and glamour of the casino floor. Who needs a roulette wheel when you've got an F1 car making the rounds? This unexpected crossover is the stuff dreams are made of, where the roar of its engine meets the ding-ding-ding of the slots. In the world of F1, even the cars know when to gamble on a different kind of speed. Ah, a juicy tussle indeed. Two F1 drivers ditching their helmets for a good old-fashioned silly juice fight. Now that's a scene straight out of a comedy movie. Who knew that amidst the tire smoke and engine roars, a silly juice fight could steal the show? F1, or even the rivalries, take a detour through the land of fun and games. During the gripping 1994 Formula One season, Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill found themselves locked in a nail-biting battle for the championship. With only 1 point separating the two, the stakes were sky high as they hurtled toward the Australian Grand Prix, the ultimate decider in this high-speed duel. As the race unfolded, Schumacher seemed poised for victory until a dramatic turn of events shook the race to its core. The sight of Schumacher's car kissing the wall spelled trouble. It was a shockwave that tilted the scales in favor of Hill, making it seem like the championship trophy was about to change hands. Yet, in a dramatic twist, just as Hill revved up to overtake Schumacher, fate intervened with an abrupt twist of the racing tale. The clash between the two drivers marked the pinnacle of tension, sending both cars spinning into an irreversible collision. The dust settled, but the cars lay there, wounded and unable to be patched up, signifying the end of their Australian Grand Prix campaign. However, as the racing world held its breath, the critical point difference worked in Schumacher's favor. Despite the chaotic appeals echoing around the paddock, the collision determined the championship outcome. The aftermath of this pivotal moment set off a storm of discussions, but in that thrilling instant at the Australian Grand Prix, the collision abruptly terminated the race, leaving Schumacher perched precariously as the 1 point advantage he had painstakingly secured ensured his ultimate victory. Amid the echoes of the tumultuous appeal process that followed, the Australian Grand Prix became the canvas for a stunning turn of events that secured Schumacher's maiden championship title. The 1998 Belgian Grand Prix became an unforgettable episode in F1 lore due to the deluge that turned the track into a slippery, rain-soaked challenge. Amidst the chaotic downpour, the race plunged into a dramatic turn when David Coulthard's misfortune triggered a chain reaction akin to a high-speed game of dominoes. As the race plunged into darkness, Coulthard's car pirouetted at turn 1, embracing the trackside wall. However, the repercussions of Coulthard's spin were colossal. A series of unfortunate events ensued as a whopping 13 cars succumbed to the treacherous conditions and tangled in a monumental pileup that made F1 history. The 2008 Singapore Grand Prix was primed for a showdown among determined drivers vying for victory. Yet, Alonso and his Renault faced an uphill battle, starting a less than promising P15. In a strategic move, Alonso dove into the pits on lap 12, aiming for a clever undercut strategy. However, the race took an unexpected turn when Nelson Piquet Jr. suffered a massive crash, prompting a safety car. Seizing the opportunity, Alonso and a select few drivers refrained from pitting. Through a stroke of fortune, Alonso rocketed from P15 to an astonishing P1, ultimately clinching the race. But behind the scenes, whispers of suspicion lingered. The subsequent year saw Piquet ousted from Renault, unveiling a shocking revelation. It emerged that Piquet orchestrated the crash intentionally to propel his teammate Alonso to the front. F1's darkest moment unfolded as the scandal surfaced, hinting that some within the FIA might have been privy to the incident early on but remained silent. The revelation exposed the unsettling depth of dedication, with rumors even suggesting Piquet practiced the crash beforehand. The Singapore Grand Prix of 2008 became a sobering chapter in F1's history, echoing with the chilling echoes of a premeditated crash that tainted the sport's integrity and spirit. What's your favorite moment among these? Please let us know in the comments, and also make sure you like the video and subscribe to our channel for more.